Hi, my art friends. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial on how to start our Maori Koru art inspired by Raywin Harris. And I just wanted to go over a couple things. The first thing is that we are going to use our inspiration from our virtual vacation that we took to New Zealand. And if you're a friend joining me from another grade, you can look up online some virtual or drone tours of New Zealand to get an idea of what we took a look at and to see where this style of art originated from. And then our artist, Raywin Harris, is someone who makes these beautiful, vibrant pictures based on nature, and we are inspired by her. So we're going to take a look at some of her work, and we're going to make things that look similar to hers. But again, your work doesn't have to match hers exactly. It doesn't have to match mine exactly either. But what I do want to do is give you a place to get started and give you a way to begin and to give you some ideas of how to lay everything out on the paper. Now, once I do that, you can get creative with it. If you want to add more spirals, more korus, if you want to start to create your own pattern or design, that's wonderful. So I just want to give you the idea that we're kind of keeping this concept of an idea of nature and making things look similar to Raywin Harris, but it doesn't have to be exact. I would like to see creativity and uniqueness, and I love the things that I've been seeing. They're so awesome. And I like when you take an idea and make it your own. So you can feel free to do that. So one of the first things I want to talk about is that we've learned about different kind of line work this year. We've talked about bumpy lines, wavy lines, zigzag lines, things like that. So our focus today will include some of those, but first and foremost, we want to focus on a special line called a spiral. So with the spiral shape, many of you know exactly what that looks like, and it'll be our first step in creating our Koru and Raywin Harris inspired artwork. So that will be kind of the beginning step of our process. And like I mentioned, I'm going to show you with one spiral or one Koru, and you're welcome to put more than one, because as you can see in some of the idea paintings or the inspirational paintings, there are more than one sometimes, but our main one is going to be our focal point. That's like our big idea or our main idea of our artwork. So I'm going to set that up for you. All right, so join me as we take a look at the steps. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that I'm going to use Sharpie. I'm going to recommend, please, that you use pencil. And the reason I'm going to use Sharpie is just so you can see it on the screen. Okay, I want to make that really visible for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto my sketchbook, and I'm going to go into the bottom part of the sketchbook, and I'm going to start drawing my Koru. So what I want to do is I want to make a point, and then I want to go around in a spiral shape like this. So basically, it's almost as if you're going to do a circle, but you kind of miss it. You go here, and instead of completing the circle, you go a little farther out. Now you'll see in the Koru shape, it almost has a double line in the artwork that we're looking at. So we want to go back to that point, and we want to go around again. So it creates almost a double layer. And this is going to give us the ability, if we want to, or the choice, to put a pattern inside the Koru if you would like. Okay, and then I'm just going to extend my stem right there. Okay, so that's the beginning of my Koru. Now, one of the things that I like in Raywin's art is that she takes her base Koru and then she creates lines where we can make patterns around the outside edge of it. So you'll see she does this in different ways in different parts of her artwork, but we're going to do it like this, and you can change it if you want to. So I'm making a wavy line there, a wavy line here, and I'm just continuing around. These are kind of called radiating lines, or almost like you picture sunlight, right? So now inside of these wavy lines, I'm going to start making some patterns. And again, you can create the patterns that you like best based on what you see on hers. I'm going to try and give you some examples. So one of the ones that I like that she did is a leaf shape. So it's kind of like an almond shape, or if you were going to make an eye shape, just like that, little ovals with pointy ends. And we go down the middle and make a nice leaf pattern. Okay. So that's one thing we can do. And if we really want to make it truly a pattern, we can go to our next space that's open leaving this blank because we'll do another pattern in between. And we're continuing our leaf pattern here. Okay. Now, if you're really liking those spiral patterns, then you can certainly work on some of those, just like you see in some of her artwork. So you can do little baby spirals here. Okay. Just like that. And one thing I was playing around with too is you could even do within the wavy lines to make a little bit of a different pattern. This was just my own idea. You can do diagonal lines across. Okay. So just some different ideas we can play with. The other thing we can do is inside the Koru, if you wanted to, you could make some dots. I was almost kind of thinking of making like a polka dot pattern inside, because then once we add some color, it would make that pattern really pop out. So just another idea is making little dots like this, or you can make bigger polka dots like that, and then we could do a contrasting color in the center. Okay, so just some ideas there. So the goal of this week, as you can see, is to lay out our sketch. It's to create our patterns, again, using all pencil. All right, again, my Sharpie is just so you'll be able to see it clearly. And then once you have your pencil, your sketch, and your patterns all set, next week, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to color. So we want to keep up with the patterns when we go ahead and color. So again, this week, if you've gone through all the slides, you've gone through our little virtual vacation to New Zealand, and you've taken a look at all of the artwork of Raywin Harris, and you've started your sketch, you'll be ready for next week. And then what I'll do is after we finished applying our color and working on our patterns, then I'll ask everyone to send me a beautiful picture of your wonderful masterpiece. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you love the artwork and the symbol of the Koru. I know I do. And one of my favorite things is that it is a symbol of hope and it is a symbol of peace. Both the things that I'm wishing for you right now. So thank you so much for joining me, my art friends, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.